do you dust off dirt or do you dust off dust? You know? Sort of a...
I kind of feel like you're actually dusting off the ground for some reason.
Okay. Yeah, I felt like I missed that metaphor.
Yeah.
I was trying to create a picture.
Dust.
Well, I was trying to paint a picture. I was dusting off dirt.
I didn't even question it until you said so.
Okay.
Yeah. I was with you.
We're finding the line under the dirt. That's all I know. I don't know if you dust it or brush it. Maybe I should have broomed it.
Swept
off.
You need one of those little umpire brooms like in baseball.
Like home plate, yeah.
I home plate broomed it and found the line.
As the kids are saying these days.
Yeah.
That old nugget.
Yeah, so just prepare to...
It'll be great.
It'll be perfect.
Y'all motherfuckers don't watch us play throughout the year, to tell you the truth. I'm gonna be real with you, and I don't care if I get fined.
I got my sweet jerk off. Put some shoes on.
That train is off the tracks.
Who doesn't love the bouncy castle?
Hitler. Just prepare to... just prepare to be awash in undebeatable goodness.
Welcome, Pacers fans. You were listening to the Undebeatables, your semi-weekly Pacers podcast. Today is October 30th, 2022, and this is episode 607. Coming to you from Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm your host, Joey Gaffrida. This show, we're going to discuss a 2-2 week for the Pacers, including games against Philadelphia, Chicago, Washington, and Brooklyn. Joining me this show are all three of our analysts, coast to coast, like buttered toast. First, from the high school home of Jameson Brewer, Silver Spring, Maryland, it's the doctor, Jason Triplett.
What is up, Pacers fans? What is up, Undebeatables? A couple quick shout-outs this week. First, to my wife, Jill, who I celebrated an anniversary with. Been a lovely 3 years.
Shout out.
And shout out to my band, was under the incarnation of Appetite for Instruction on Friday. Played a Halloween benefit show, which was super duper fun. So thanks to everybody that came out and supported us.
Sold out show?
It was a sold out show, actually.
Sold a bunch of merch, did you?
No merch. We don't even know how to put up a QR code for Venmo to get tips or anything yet. So we're doing great. But we can say we sold out a show. So.
Nice.
That's awesome. I feel like you can, for both of those things, that's right up Colson's territory. He's for your merch, he's got your puffy paints, and for QR codes. I mean, he's like made out of QR codes. Look at the guy.
Yep.
From Asheville, North Carolina, he's our in-house bartender, mixing up the drinks and the crappy jingles. John Colson.
What is up, Pacer Nation? What is up, Undebeatables? Now I know why this podcast doesn't make any money, because Jason's in charge of all of that. Where's my merch?
I thought you were on the merch.
There's
I've designed this shirt. It's ready. We're ready to go. I just need
I think
somebody.
we've got a delegation problem. Is really what happened there.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
We need to work on our org chart and figure out what's going on here.
I was waiting on the QR code.
Yep.
I don't know how the social meds works.
That's clear. But I think the org chart is a flat circle or something. So I think we need to workshop this.
That joke was too smart for me, so I'm just gonna sit over here in the corner.
It's an inverted pyramid. It's just 3 of us and then Colson below us.
Okay, that makes sense now.
Well, I think to solve this one, I think we should all have a meeting here pretty soon and go over some of the specifics.
Okay,
Sounds good to you guys. All right.
Sounds like the Nets.
I'll add that to my PowerPoint for the second show.
Thank you. From Boise, Idaho, out west, it's our enforcer with a PowerPoint presentation, John Harper.
What is going on, fellas? Shout out to former Pacer, current Piston, Bojan Bogdanovic. Signed a 2-year, $39 million extension.
Whoa.
Paid. I bet they even have his jersey up there.
You can probably get that at the store.
Probably.
Congrats, bud. Making some money. With inflation, he's got to get those groceries.
Yeah.
Got to feed his family. Yep.
Well, before we get into the show, I'd like to remind you that this show is brought to you by you. If you head over to patreon.com/undebeatables, you can support us. We are the longest running Pacers podcast for as little as $1 per month. First segment we got for you is the NBA news of the week. Colson, there's a lot going on. What do you want to highlight this week?
Yeah, news of the week. Stuff happens every week. We can't get to it except in this new segment. Hold for jingle next week. News of the week. Joey, this is a true or false question. Okay?
Okay.
Benedict Mathurin is the first rookie this season to hit 5 3-pointers.
True.
But he's done it twice already this season.
Oh, 5 3-pointers like in a game.
In a game, yeah.
Okay.
And I didn't
thought you
mention
meant
that
just
part.
overall.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
No. Well, yeah, no, I think there are several other rookies that have hit 5. Yeah, in a
I
game.
would assume so. But
Harper. Damian Lillard won his 14th Western Conference Player of the Week, averaging 34, 5 rebounds, 4 assists on 47, 36, and 93% shooting.
There were so many numbers in there. I know you're trying to trick me, so I'm going false.
No, that's true.
Damn it.
Wow.
His knee injury against Miami at the end of the third gave the Portland Blazers their first loss, but the team is 5-1. 5-1.
when's he coming back?
1 to 2 weeks. So no sweat.
As long as they have 0 games during that time period, they should be able to.
Yeah, they'll be fine. Jason, against the Timberwolves, LeBron James scored 20 points, passing Karl Malone for second most 20-point games in NBA history.
That is true.
That is false.
Nope.
His 1,135 games is the NBA record. He now has the most 20-point games in NBA history. Joey, the hapless Thunder stumbled to an 0-5 start.
It's got to be false.
That is false. That's the Lakers. The Thunder are 3-3.
Yeah. They can't tank either.
Harper. Today, October 30th, the LA Lakers are highlighting the Jersey retired Hall of Famer George Mikan with a bobblehead night on the 60th anniversary of his first championship.
Did they play in the fall back then? False?
False. They are just now retiring his jersey.
Oh, boy.
He's
busy.
the 11th. He's the 11th Laker of all time. He led the Memphis Lakers to 5 chips in 49, 50, 52, 53, and 54. He was a 6-time All-NBA first team. And for his career, averaged 23, 13.4, 3 assists.
Yeah, but what has he done for them
That's
lately?
false. It was the Minneapolis Lakers,
Yeah,
What did I
man,
say?
you said-
not the
you said
Memphis Lakers. Yeah.
Oh, I meant,
Got him.
So here's
get a
what I've
point.
learned, and this was my problem last week, because I stumbled with this last week. I rate these things in the dark, and I can't read my own handwriting, so it's a problem. I'm gonna have to change that. Moving
Part of your
forward.
process is to
All right,
do
everybody-
It's part of my process.
We need more Patreon so John Colson can buy light bulbs. His roommate just turns all the lights off at 11 o'clock.
And then I turn the lights on, and I have to just guess what I wrote. Yeah, Jason, Joshua Primo's career is definitively over after the Spurs cut him under allegations of exposing himself to multiple women.
Oh, I hope that's false.
Do you hope it's false?
He's hoping that didn't actually happen.
Yeah. I'm
Oh
hoping
no,
didn't happen.
that's true. But it's false because he's owed $4 million over the next 2 years, and that will be paid no matter what. And ESPN has reported that multiple teams are interested in him.
Yeah,
Yay, NBA.
Spurs just
Oh yeah,
let
no,
him
the
go.
Spurs just cut. Yeah, they were like, "Hey, look, we owe you $8 million. We don't care. You're done." The fact that multiple teams are interested in him is not that fun. So
I'm a little
One of them's
surprised
the
that wouldn't.
Browns.
Don't they have a morality clause?
Right. Yeah, you'd think there'd be kickers.
they're hoping there's going to be something coming out of the allegations that doesn't prove he's exposed himself to multiple women that the Spurs have already uncovered. I don't know.
Maybe he shouldn't have apologized then.
And
Maybe all of these
Joey,
women were doctors, and he had a.
I have a spot that I need you to check.
Sorry, I
Joey,
shouldn't joke about that.
Yeah.
this week DeMar DeRozan became the 50th player in NBA history to score at least 20,000 points, all but assuring a Hall of Fame induction.
Sure, I'll go with that.
That is true. There are only 2 eligible players that have scored over 20,000 points, Tom Chambers and Antoine Jameson, that have not made the Hall of Fame out of 50 players. So his odds are pretty good.
Yep.
There you go. That's news of the week. News of the week.
Yes, and I won too.
Nice.
Heck, I love winning the
In your
news.
debut performance.
Yeah. 1-0.
Yeah, so last week I was traveling and not able to get back in time. So thanks for carrying the load there, everybody. But I'm back now. This is my first show of the since the season started, and gotta tell you, I am not impressed with the team so far. They're in a free fall. They won 2 games this week, and they're struggling to.
For
to
shame.
Get this, they're struggling to. It's gonna be hard to get a good draft pick at this pace. First game Monday, October 24th at Philadelphia. They did the work here. They lost 120-106. Halliburton looking great, 19 points, 10 assists, 6 rebounds. And Smith, 17 points, 10 rebounds. He's been looking good. Glad we pick up that dude. Game 2, Wednesday, October 26th at Chicago. They lose this one 124-109. Buddy Hield going off 25 points, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. And Halliburton again having a good game, 17 points, 11 assists, 4 boards. And here's where things get dicey here. So they head back. They played Washington twice already this season, which is whatever. In these was the first one at home, yeah. Mm-hmm. But they played the first. They played them twice already. And Miles Turner back in the game, back on the floor from his incident with the ball boy, and they win this one on October 28th, 127-115. Looking good. Miles Turner been saving it up. 27 points, 10 rebounds, 5 blocks. Halliburton again, 25 points, 12 assists. Buddy Hield, 25 points, 5 boards. And on the second night of a back-to-back, there's Turner has just come back from an injury. They don't play him. And doesn't matter. They take it to Brooklyn, and they win this one 125-116. Mathurin, the rookie, 32 points, 5 rebounds. Tyrese Halliburton, 26 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. And Isaiah Jackson, 18 points, 10 rebounds. This is so wild to me. I was like, the first couple games of the season, I was like, you know what? I am down for the tank. And there's no way to not be happy when you go for the tank, but I think we've got too much pride. There's too much talent on the floor. Right now we're kind of in the play-in position, sort of like the eighth-ish spot. It's super early. I get that. They look good. They're having fun, and they're fighting. And a lot of the games are close. Harper, what's your takeaway from this week?
These guys are a good team. We definitely have some talent. I like that. We approached the Wizards game. It really seemed like we wanted that one. We didn't want to lose 2 in a row to the same team. We knew we had the film on them. I feel like these guys did their homework from the last game and took a good game plan in there and really controlled this game. Really fun to watch. And you figure going into Brooklyn, who's been struggling, second out of a back-to-back, you're on your road swing, you're a young team. But they were not daunted by the superstars on that Nets team. Nobody is afraid of those guys. Clearly, they were jawing it up. And, Pacers really wanted that one. And, again, just really took it to them. Brooklyn needed that game. They're now 1-5. And, yeah, we murdered them. So, yeah, I mean, it's a fun week of basketball. It really is. These guys really showed what they are capable of doing. As you mentioned, Joey, that, Turner's out in that game, as is Neesmith, as is McConnell. I mean, we're short 3 pretty important players, but it didn't matter. Halliburton, Mathurin really put that team on their backs and just went to work. Good week.
Yeah, I mean, I was really impressed. I mean, obviously we have a young team, and so one of the things that they can do every night is play hard, which older veteran teams sometimes, back-to-backs really affect them. And I was really impressed with that game against Brooklyn, even though it was a back-to-back, just outworking the Nets. Like, there was a possession down the stretch where Pacers grabbed, I think it was 3, I miscounted and said 4 offensive rebounds in a row. And that happened a couple times down the stretch where they just were getting offensive rebounds and just out being much more active. The only guy that plays hard on Brooklyn is Kevin Durant right now, and it really shows.
Yeah, they don't seem like they like each other at all.
No,
Jalen Smith had 7 boards. That's more than the Nets in that game.
Yeah, it was not good.
That Nets game was one of the most delightful games I've watched Pacers play in a couple seasons. I can't remember enjoying something more. I mean, we go in against a clearly superior talented team, with 2 superstars, potentially, I guess 3 all-stars, if you count Ben Simmons, who is a shell of a basketball player. But and some talented role players, a team that people have penciled in. I think their betting line was 50 wins. And granted, they're struggling. They still got all that talent. We're coming in the second night of a back-to-back, and it was tied or a point. We were a point ahead at halftime. It was back and forth all third quarter. And then in the fourth quarter, which is winning time for veteran teams, we just pulled away. It was just fantastic. It was just so fun to watch. Bennett Mathurin is a star. I mean, he just is. And the guys just scrapped. They played harder. You're right. This was so satisfying. I couldn't stop smiling almost the entire second half of this game.
Yeah, it was nice for these guys to see some shots go down, too. Set a franchise record 23 triples or something. I mean, we were just bombing from all over the floor.
Yeah, I was going to say, it certainly helps when you hit 50% from three-point range, which the Pacers hit that mark in both the Brooklyn game and the Wizards game.
I agree with that, and that's something that will go up and down all season. But I think that we're doing a good job of finding open shots. I mean, I think we are getting into the paint. We're tossing it into Jalen Smith. We're Halliburton's breaking out the defense and finding open shooters. Like, these aren't contested threes. Yeah. Now, granted, 50% is a ridiculous, number that won't last. But this wasn't a total out of nowhere stat. I think we earned these shots.
Yeah, it was smartly we decided to play the Brooklyn Nets, who just don't play defense. So that was
it does help. It does.
Masterstroke.
And the Wizards aren't exactly, lockdown defense.
I mean, they just didn't look like a better team than us, did they?
They did not. Okay. And I tweet. What did I do? I Skype. I tweet. Whatever I do to you guys.
Slack
to you guys. Within 15 minutes of this game beginning, they can't handle Turner. We got destroyed by Washington in the first game by the big guys. And they had no answer for Miles Turner. It was very clear from the beginning. He was physical with them. He went to the line a bunch. They couldn't handle him. He helped us win this game. He was the difference in that game.
No doubt about that. Yeah. I thought to touch briefly on the two losses, I thought that the Chicago game was, well, just so we get some full coverage here.
I know it's our job.
There were not a lot of bright spots in the Philly game. I thought we came out of the gate pretty well, but then Philly just kind of handled us, and they were in a position where they were 0-3 coming into that game and very motivated to get a win, and you could tell that they were locked in on both sides of the ball. And Embiid is just a beast, and we didn't have Turner yet in that game, and boy, poor Isaiah Jackson and Jalen Smith just got pushed around. They're not NBA body. I mean, not many teams have a guy that can deal with Joel Embiid as it is, but we especially were struggling in that game. The Chicago game I thought was interesting. We showed signs of life and really rallied and got back into that game in the middle of the third quarter. The first half was very rough, but we came out at halftime much sharper and much more energetic and got it close. But then kudos to Chicago, who their bench just murdered us in that game. We handled their starting lineup, but their bench was just head and shoulders above us. There.
Yeah, it's Caruso and who else on that bench that just absolutely was just. They were all.
I mean, Drummond
Dragic was hurt.
Oh, Drummond. He
always does.
Did whatever he wanted to do. And Dragic. The three of those guys. Yeah, Goran Dragic looked like he should be a starter in almost every team in the league.
Yeah, I was
guys
happy
were
for
great.
you, Joey, and during that game. I don't know if you got to see it at all, but he was in vintage Dragic mode, just throwing no-look lobs and behind the back passes, and yeah, he murdered us.
They found the fountain of youth out there.
Yeah.
First really tough game for Ben Mathurin, too, in that game. He was, I think, a minus 18 in the plus-minus or something, and would just really struggled. And, we talked about this in the preseason. This is going to be the experience of this team, this very young team, is we're going to have games like the Brooklyn game where he goes bananas and, shoots the lights out and is challenging Ben Simmons and, running him over and talking trash. And then he's going to have games like that Chicago game where he can't hit the broadside of the barn and just really struggles. But
he did do
Well,
a good
if you
job
speak of
getting
that-
I will say.
Yeah,
he
you've
did a
asked
good
me to
job getting
watch.
into the paint in that game, though.
Yep.
The shot
sure.
wasn't going down. 9 of 10 from the line.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's true.
tough marks in future Hall of Famer DeMar DeRozan and whatever Zach LaVine is.
Well, and you've got to appreciate that sort of veteran approach, which is I'm not hitting the shot. I'm gonna throw myself into bodies. I don't know. Mathurin looks fantastic, even when he's struggling. In my mind.
No. I agree, but
Yeah.
I just wanted to.
Well,
This
yeah,
is
and
the first
he
time
would,
that he really you could tell he didn't have it going.
well, and what did he score 11 or 13 in the Wizards game? Had a couple bad games. He's still freaking amazing. I mean, bad games.
Yeah. He scored 17. The big thing in that Wizards game is he was 1 of 7 from the range. So
Yeah.
again, guys just really heated up in the second half of the week from 3-point land, made a big difference, as 3-point shooting does in this league.
What about Jalen Smith so far this season? Colson, what are you thinking about that?
Well, I think I made an argument that he's going to be the future of the power forward spot. He's going to be, a guy that's with us for 10 years, like Dale Davis. That was more of the metaphor and not the enforcer part. I kind of screwed that part up, but I want him to be here as the power forward for the next 10 years. He got destroyed in the first couple games when he was playing at center. But he's really eased into playing this power forward position, averaging double-figure rebounds, doing the little things. Not a lot of highlight plays, just kind of doing the dirty work. I thought Isaiah Jackson, who's the guy that I follow, has also perked up. had a great couple games, a lot of lob passes, a lot of sort of more highlight stuff. But when you look at the box score at the end of the day, it's Jalen Smith who's doing the hard work and getting your 12 and 15 every night. So it's hard to be mad at our young front court. They're putting in the work, and it's a work in progress. But you kind of see how this might, play out in the future as they continue to develop.
Yeah, I'll say for Isaiah, he's been the recipient of a bunch of lob passes, but especially in that Brooklyn game, he's really moving the ball around himself pretty well. That guy sees the floor pretty well. He's a good passer. Yeah. Just say nothing of his 18 and 10. He had a really good game, to be sure, but he's going to be a really well-rounded player for us.
I think the thing about him is that I was worried about early on. We were talking about maybe there's too much downloaded in his brain defensively, but he cuts a lot. He's trying to make himself open. He's trying to he's doing the right things. And
it's going to be fun to see when the game slows down for him. I think he's really gonna leap off the page. I think because his athleticism is through the roof. I mean, there's been like this week there were times where like Halliburton or Heald or Matherin, when they had the ball, they just like throw it at the rim randomly wherever he is in the paint, and he just like goes and tries to get it. And like,
well, in that Brooklyn game, he was guarding Kyrie Irving on a possession, and Kyrie's like trying to dance on him and just like gives up the ball. Like that should be a thing where Kyrie Irving's like, well, this guy is 6'10", I can go around him, and he's like, no, I'm just giving it up, I can't do it. So it's good stuff.
Indeed. Well, we get to see a little bit more of the Brooklyn Nets, and maybe some spicy post-game conferences, press conferences, if you're into that sort of thing. The Pacers, 2 games this week. That's it. 2 dose. Monday, Halloween at Brooklyn. That game is on NBA TV. And then basically nothing all week until Friday, when the Pacers host the Miami Heat, who are off to a rocky-ish start, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. They're 2-4 right now?
Yeah, I think so.
2-5, actually.
So, yeah.
2-5, okay.
So what are we predicting this week in Pacerland? Are we going to extend this win streak? We're going to sweep the Nets at the Nets?
Well, I originally picked 1-3 for the week, and then we would pick up this Brooklyn win.
That's right.
Tomorrow.
Sticking with that.
Man, they've had a lot of team meetings since we beat them. Let's say we lose tomorrow and beat Miami. I'll go 1-1.
1-1. I'll take the 2-0. I think we sweep it.
I like it.
I think we sweep it. We induce massive panic in Joey. And
I'm fine with 0-2.
Let's see. Which one of the ones that you guys picked should I go with?
We took all the good ones.
What's that?
We took all the good ones.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna take. You know what? I'm gonna take the 2-0 sweep. So when they fail to do that, I'll be in a better mood.
Joe, I think I understand your sort of hesitation right now, because I feel the same way. I'm starting to think that, I think last week when we did the show, I was like, oh, this team's not going to be as good as I hoped it would be. But honestly, I always hoped it would be terrible. And now you look at this team and you're like, we're kind of good. Like, we could kind of beat some teams. Like, we're not going to lose 80 games this season. It's too late for that. It's too late for that.
I did the math.
So where do we fall? How's that feel, Joe? Like, what if we keep winning? What if it's exciting? What if it feels as good as beating Brooklyn the other night?
That I probably should break off some of this conversation for the Thursday show.
Okay,
but,
fair enough.
It's fun. Like, it's fun when the team is enjoyable to watch, but my concern is that they're going to put themselves in the 8, 9, 10, 11 space and not get a good draft pick and, not be in a position or have the talent and experience to go anywhere in the playoffs. And, I'm just more concerned. I'm more concerned about the longer term.
I understand that, Joey. What if I told you, and we'll talk about this next week, what if I told you that we already have the pieces on this team to succeed in the future and you don't need to worry about tanking anymore?
If you told me that and I believed you, then that's I guess that'd be great. But
Well, tune in next week or whatever. What do? We do this once a week? I don't know what we do.
Check Colson's Twitter.
No, I think he'll Skype you.
Yeah, exactly. I'll put it on the tweets.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna gram you or whatever the kids do these days.
All right. Well, so we'll be back with you on Thursday. Until then, you can hit us up on the social medias. Is that what you say?
Oh yeah, that's definitely how the kids talk these days.
Okay.
And all the people
Twitter.
that listen to this show are definitely kids.
We are on Elon Musk's Twitter at Undebeatables. We are on Facebook.com/The Undebeatables. Our website is theundebeatables.com. And you can hit us up with an email that Elon Musk does not own yet. Shout out at theundebeatables.com. There's a contact form on our website if you'd like to contact us that way. And our website/store has got some merch. You can check us out there.
For the architect, Donnie Walsh, and our once and always Hall of Fame coach, Bobby Sicklendard, turn out the lights, the party's over.
That was perfect.
It's beautiful.
Quintessential.
Nailed it.
The epitome of an outro song.
We are a well-oiled machine.
Nailed it.